2, 1.
Get good.
Morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. This is another episode of Average Female Debater, a bit of an impromptu stream today. It's regarding the Afroman trial, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, System Crash.
Good morning.
And Glacier Maniac.
Hello.
They are both walking. Well, System Crash is walking into this somewhat blind, and Glacier has never even seen this before. March 18th, against the Adams County, Ohio Sheriff's deputies. The deputies sued him after they did a raid on his home in 2022 because he released music videos using the surveillance footage. He made them quite entertaining. And the deputies then alleged that these videos caused them distress and that they faced kind of like public mockery as a result of this. Afroman has maintained that the videos and his actions in relation to the deputies are all protected under his First Amendment rights. And that was the defense that his counsel led. Today, we're going to be watching the opening statements on both sides, the funniest parts of the trial and clips, and then the defendant closing statement. Hello, Nate. Good morning, sir. Good to see you. Let me know in the chat if you've seen this shite show. I found it quite
Wait. So
entertaining.
you're telling me that his home got raided, and these are recordings from his security system, right?
Yeah. They were
And then
investigating him
they're
for
trying to say that his security system, the videos from his his recordings from his video system being put into a music video of his is causing them distress.
Yeah, he sold merch, like featuring their images and stuff. Like,
Oh my gosh, he makes big on this. This is hilarious.
Made music videos, like mocking them and stuff. And his defense counsel leaned heavily into it. It's
You know what? I'm on Afroman's side.
You're on
It's just like
Afroman's side.
I'm on Afroman's side. It's just like, okay, this is sort of what you get. It's still his content. This is all of his.
Well,
Yeah.
they argued that they didn't consent to being filmed and commercialized.
You were state police at that time. You didn't have any consent.
You're public officials.
I agree.
You don't have consent when you're a part of the state.
Yeah, and they were acting as the state as well. Like it wasn't like they were cops that walked into a donut shop minding their own bit. Like they were acting on official business.
He was never convicted, though. I mean, like they were just investigating kidnapping and drug trafficking. So the question is, at what point do we say, okay, we can violate officers' privacy rights? I mean, most people take the position
public officials have no right to privacy.
It's just like it's the same with military. Military doesn't have any rights the moment they sign that contract. So they don't have a right to privacy when they're wearing that suit.
So I'll hand it off to, obviously this is the plaintiff counsel we're watching first, but defense counsel, I believe, brings up one of the cases called the New York Times against Sullivan. And basically it sets out that, if you do speak about public officials performing their duties, then that speech is protected under the First Amendment. And you can't really, you can't sue someone for doing that unless you can establish that they actually knew something to not be true, but promoted as such. Like they're being kind of like mischievous or malicious. Yeah. Lemon pound cake shop accuracy matters. That was a killer music video. Anyway, we'll watch that. That's one of the things we'll watch. So guys, without further ado, do you want to get into this?
Sure thing. I'm very curious about this, but this is sort of funny. This feels like a show trial. He better win. Afroman better win.
He did win, actually. I mean,
fantastic. I'm happy for Afroman.
He did win, and also just a disclaimer: none of the views expressed during this broadcast are official legal advice. I have not entered into a retainer with any of the viewership, nor my panelists, to provide legal advice. I do not have the authority to under my current insurance, and this is all just commentary and not to be taken as legal advice. If you do have questions regarding an ongoing criminal matter, please seek the guidance of your local counselor or paralegal, depending on what is relevant in your jurisdiction. Usually with crime, it's a lawyer. Just saying. Let's summary conviction matters here. All right. Without further ado, let's get ahead with it.
I'm an amateur.
Mr. Foreman knew they were untrue. And that's the actual malice that you heard about.
Thank
He
you.
doesn't have to hate people. He doesn't have to anything else. If he knows they weren't true, that's actual malice. For public officials, he can't do that, and he did. Now, these deputies asked the defendant years ago to stop these posts, to take them down. He didn't. He ramped them up. Freedom of speech. I can say what I want. Worse and worse. You'll see what they are before the trial's over. Now, I'm going to ask you to come back with me to the summer of 2022. Adams County, here in West Union, here in this courthouse, the sheriff's office downstairs. There's a group of deputy sheriffs, several of them. A lot of them were raised here in Adams County, lived almost all their lives here. A lot of them have had their whole law enforcement careers here in Adams County. Some of them left Adams County for a while, but came back home here to be with the people that they know and know them. Some of them could have gone to the city or Cincinnati or Columbus or somewhere else and made more money, but they stayed here in Adams County to be law enforcement officers, deputy sheriffs. They have wives, spouses, husbands, children, go to Adams County schools. This is where their lives are. 7 of those deputy sheriffs are here today. There's Randy Walters there on the left, Mike Estep beside him, Lisa Phillips beside him, Sean Grooms beside him, Justin Cooley beside him, Detective Brian Newland beside him, and Sean Cooley, Justin's father, beside him. What brought them together was some information that Brian Newland came across in the summer of 2022. Some information that caused him to have to do something. So he typed up a search warrant and he took it to a local judge. The local judge looked at it, approved it, signed the search warrant, and Detective Newland started gathering deputy sheriffs to help execute this search warrant. And it was a search of defendant Foreman's property out on Russellville Road here in Adams County. Detective Newland will tell you that any search like this is potentially dangerous. So you like to have as many people as you can. The deputies had guns, of course. A couple of them had rifles, which is normal protocol in a situation like this. And there were about 10 of them altogether who were gathered to execute this search warrant in August of 2022. And these 7 were some of those deputies. The evidence is going to show that they approached, well, the evidence will show, first of all, none of these deputies had any idea when they woke up that morning that they were going to be executing a search warrant. None of them had any idea that by doing their
dude blinks constantly.
Their lives would be turned.
To be fair, it is at 1.5 times the speed. But yeah,
I mean, all that I can think of is just like this does set a precedent that if they were to win that trial, it does push for the idea of a almost like a crony state. If they had won, just like that, that's the first thought that came into my mind. Is just like you're saying that they were distressed, that you were on the clock working as a civil servant of the community, and now you're saying that even though you were working as a civil servant of the community, we have to worry about you using the laws against us now.
Yeah, the thing that I'm curious about too, like obviously I think we can all agree on the fact that that the deputies are doing their work. I don't know what the expectation of privacy really is there. But the other thing too is like Afroman has an estimated net worth of approximately 200K. I mean, by no means is he like, a super famous
he's not super
celebrity.
famous, but it is a side effect of people who end up having a reputation. And if the community knows that they have a reputation, some people try to be vindictive and try to find a way of forcing their hand, like almost like forcing their hand to get legal action involved so that they can reap the benefits almost.
Yeah, that wasn't really where I was going with this. I meant more so in the fact that like if he has a decent chunk of change and he has infamy, typically people like that have security systems. Like everyday like families have security systems, but like I would assume, especially if an individual has, some kind of social following, or if they have a decent chunk of money, that you would assume that they would have the premises like secured in that manner, and to go in there and not expect to be filmed. Particularly when you know that he's like, he likes making fun of like the law and stuff like that in his videos. I mean, come on, like.
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, it's basic security is having a ring at the front door, and majority of Americans can easily get a ring on their at the front door of their property. It's not that difficult. So having cameras around the house, yeah, that does happen regularly. So it's one of those things where it's just, this is stupid. It's just like you're this is stupid and you're being petty.
So I'm curious to see if defense counsel will raise that. This is the plaintiff's opening statement to those of you just joining us. And by the way, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would very much mean the world to me. Thank you.
Upside down. That evening, they approached the premises, spread out the way they had it planned. They knocked on the door, no answer. Tried the doors were locked, doors were secured. They ended up gaining entry with a battering ram, had to knock the door down. Again, that's procedure that happens in executing warrants, and that's the way you need to get in. Nobody was home. Mr. Foreman wasn't home. He was away in Chicago doing a show. The deputies searched the house. They found a small amount of marijuana. They found a significant amount of cash. They seized the marijuana. They seized the cash. That's what they do. And that was pretty much it. No evidence of a major crime was found. And so what happened was, after a while, the local sheriff ordered that, decided there's not going to be any charges filed here. And so he ordered the cash to be returned. It was over $4,000 total cash found in some of Mr. Foreman's clothing and another place in his house. Shortly after the cash was returned to Mr. Foreman, he began claiming on the internet and every place he could that the sheriff's deputies had stolen $400 from his of his money, hadn't returned it. You're going to hear the evidence about that, and we're going to demonstrate to you that that's not true and that he knew it wasn't true. There was an independent investigation done by Claremont County, but that didn't keep him from continuing to declare that Brian Newland in particular and the rest of these deputies are thieves. Okay, that's just the beginning of it. Then,
yes, Nikki,
he went beyond calling these deputies thieves. As I've indicated to you, he called Brian Newland a pedophile. Not called him. He posted it, published it all over the internet in various posts. He found a photo of Detective Newland from a Shop with a Cop event that Mr. Newland attended with little kids, disadvantaged kids in the community, Shop with a Cop, get them to know law enforcement. Mr. Foreman found a photo of Brian Newland holding one of these children that he worked with. And Mr. Foreman blocked out the face and put a smiley face on it and posted this picture of Brian Newland, and it says Brian Newland is a pedophile.
That's a bit too far. I mean, like, does he have proof?
I'm not surprised. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that is actually true on Afroman's part, that he actually did it. But yeah, if he has pictures of it, then sure. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens, because guys like to be edgy. People in general like to be edgy, especially on the internet. I mean, I don't support it, but it's just like, of course.
Okay, because like I think there's a difference in terms of like because you'll see throughout these videos, most of it is just mocking the officers due to like physical characteristics and other things, or what they did during the arrest, or the search rather. But what that is, that's accusing somebody of a very serious crime, right? Like I'll be curious to see what the defense counsel has to say about that, if that's even addressed. I'm assuming he will, because the plaintiff lawyer here has covered it in an opening, and so I think it would be remiss as a defense counsel not to cover it in his. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Has legal action been taken against the officer because of these accusations, if they're true?
Not to my knowledge. I'll check while we're watching it.
That would be something to consider, because maybe that would be enough grounds for defamation.
Well, this is the defamation suit, so.
Okay,
and I mean,
so
Afroman won it.
Okay, so it wasn't strong enough then.
Yeah, I would assume so. If he won the case, unless there's a separate case, but if it's been tried already, then you can't have duplicity of proceedings, right? So
everything would have to be hashed out here.
You would have to have a separate appeal. Like you would have to appeal it on the grounds that it wasn't sufficient, like the verdict wasn't sufficient to cover his. Yeah. Hey, Clarence.
Morning,
good to see ya. Yeah, I know. I've seen like some of the little clips, but I haven't seen the full openings here. And then we're gonna watch the defense closing as well, in addition to the clips. I take it you saw it. Let me know your thoughts in the chat.
Watch your kids around this man. He likes to fondle little boys' testicles.
Wow.
Posted it all over the internet, not once, not twice, many, many times, seen thousands of times by people. People in the community started making comments to the Detective Newland. His daughter came home from school crying because some kids had called their dad a pedophile. He used to coach a cross-country team. Some of the kids on his cross-country team started calling him a thief and a pedophile. He'll testify. He'll tell you that his daughters used to have kids over all the time. They like to hang out at his house and do things. After all this started, that stopped happening. Like, kids didn't come over. Finally, Detective Newland felt like he couldn't continue to work in Adams County anymore. Adams County was his dream job. He started here as a deputy, worked his way up to detective. This is where he wanted to spend his career, but things soured out. He couldn't stand working here anymore. He resigned his job from the Adams County Sheriff's Department and went to Cincinnati and now works for the Norwood Police Department. He commutes, drives every day because he felt like he can't work here anymore. Now, Mr. Foreman, as I indicated a moment ago, saved his most severe attacks for Lisa Phillips. Lisa Phillips worked as a resource officer in the Adams County schools for 18 years. She used to greet the children, including Mr. Foreman's children, when they were dropped off at school in the morning. Said hello to them, made them feel welcome. Mr. Foreman posted that Lisa Phillips likes to have sex with other women. He used other words. She ate my ex-wife just like pizza.
Oh my
pussy,
God.
pussy, pussy, eating, blah, 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 over and over, thousands of times on the internet. People saw it, people laughed, people from out of state, but people here in Adams County would sometimes yell at her when they saw her. Hey, Lisa Lick'em-Low Phillips. That was his nickname.
Oh my gosh.
Over and over.
What the fuck?
This has been going on for like almost 3 years now, folks. And it's taken a heavy toll on her. Her child came home from school crying, saying, because the kids were saying, did your mom have a sex change? Because of what they saw that he had posted.
Wow.
We asked him to stop. He doubled down. Thank you, Judge.
Double down, pun
She's out on
intended.
call doing her duty. Someone yells at her, hey, Lisa Lick'em-Low thief, calls her a thief. She's had to miss days of work because of the emotional upset. Her doctor has her on medication. Because of this, because of lies.
Damn.
Just Friday, on the eve of trial, he published the most.
Can I be
egregious thing
honest? Pause real quick.
Mm-hmm.
They said that her retributions were worse than the pedophile accusations. I'm gonna have to say no. I'm just gonna say that. It's just like, okay, people think that you're a lesbian. Nobody really gives a fuck if you're a lesbian. The other guy was told you can't be around children when he has children himself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's more serious than like if there's evidence that she's actually going around being like, what's so shameful about that in 2020?
It's not shameful because it's paraded and considered to be something that you should be proud of. No, he's been told that he's a predator, that he is actually dangerous to be around little children. That damages and ruins people's lives and reputations.
Yeah, I think that one was too far. Clarence would like to say what you want about Afroman doing what he did. It sure is hilarious that the lyrics have to be read in court.
Oh dear Lord.
I love that part. That was so funny.
I think you will in this trial. It's basically pornography about Lisa Phillips. Mr. Foreman also targeted Deputy Randy Walters for special treatment. In several videos seen by thousands of people, Mr. Foreman declares, I used to fuck his wife. I used to fuck his wife doggy style. His kids. Hey, is Afroman your father? We asked him to stop. He didn't. He still publishes. There's new videos today.
Okay, this is just childish bullying that happens every day in everybody's lives.
Yeah, I know, it's hilarious. That's why it's a funny trial to watch.
Cry about it.
Oh, yeah.
Please, no steppy.
Please.
Justin Cooley was targeted by Mr. Foreman as a thief. Sean Cooley, Mike Eastep, and Sean Groons all suffered by being called a thief. They're sheriffs. They go to people's houses to do things. Hey, you're going to steal my money too?
What was the warrant on?
It's harder for them to do
like, what did they get the search warrant off of?
For alleged kidnapping and drug trafficking.
Okay, well then my client is a kidnapper and drug trafficker, according to you. You know what I mean? Like, it goes both ways.
Yeah, we're gonna see the defense opening further. Who's LD? Who's LD? Also good to see you, Hugh. Is it normal for police to disconnect surveillance systems in a house they're raiding? I've heard that in some houses they have.
Yeah,
actually.
Sounds sketchy.
It's sketchy.
That should be against the law.
I think so too. I think that, you know, if anything,
that is them covering that could very well be them covering their asses, as well as it defeats the purpose of the security system that the person, whoever had it, put into place. You're trying to circumvent it so that you don't get liable or try to weasel your way out. No. I don't like that.
So it's kind of like body cams. I have the same view on body cams. I think that it's useful for both parties, and I find them to be invaluable. Like, if anything, if you're doing your job properly, what's the use? I understand, you know, that borders on a surveillance state, but they're literally doing it in the state of their profession. I have cameras all over my work. Okay.
Actually,
yeah, business doesn't.
I support the body cams too, because it brings transparency, and since it's only the police officers that's going to be wearing them, it protects them, but it also discredits them if they are actually doing nefarious actions.
Holong Nate brings forth a good point, Glacier. Holong Nate mentions that if the warrants for evidence of kidnapping and narcotic distribution were sourced from someone who lied about him, why can't he sue for defamation since those details would be public? Well,
yeah, that's what I was getting at.
They raided his house with a warrant.
Yeah.
There's no. Do you have evidence, Nate, to support that they were about like lies?
Well, he said so. I asked how they got the warrant, right? And he said kidnapping and drug trafficking.
Yeah.
Well, and I think what he's saying is whoever brought that into account, like, should be sued for defamation. Which defamation suits only happen if there's like a loss of money and you can prove it's through.
Yeah.
I don't see, like, I did a search just to double check because I didn't see anything in the original trial. They're just suspicion. They don't say who accused him of that. So I assume it's confidential, like investigative information. Does anybody have information to the contrary in the chat? Oh, apparently that was the LD was Clarence's old name. Good to see you, Kokomo. Oh Lord. Yeah, so Nate, I don't have any evidence to support that they were sourced from someone who lied about him. So we have to assume it's a legitimate investigation, unless you have evidence to the contrary, in which case, please post it. I will look it up. Okay, let's keep going.
Hear all the evidence. That's what this case is about in terms of the facts. At the end of the case, you'll have to decide if Mr. Foreman should be held responsible for what he's done. That's what the case is about. Should he be held responsible? I indicated during our jury selection process the kind of damages we're going to be asking for, the non-economic, the value damages. You'll hear all the evidence. You'll have to decide, how bad was this? I think you're going to decide it wasn't just a little minor, said something bad about you. It was about as bad as you can imagine for these deputies. Reputation, pain and suffering, humiliation, personal embarrassment, loss of reputation, all that stuff. You're going to have to put a value on it. And I will tell you this.
That's what makes it dangerous.
Try to help give some guidance. You can reject it or not, because it's your choice.
Well, usually, like in court, we would lead similar cases. Like we'd say, okay, in this defamation trial, which resulted in like this impact to an individual's career, right? Because that's what is at stake here, and their personal life. This is the damages that were awarded by the court. And then the judge has like a list of cases and what we call like a book of authorities, and then the judge makes a decision from there. Usually, it's helpful in a case where monetary awards are being asked for to like do like a table compiling the case, the type of defamation that was alleged, the impact, and then the costs that were awarded. Oh, you mean from the house? Yes, Nate. When they actually did the execution of the warrant, there wasn't sufficient evidence other than the money that was found to support that there was kidnapping or narcotics distribution occurring. So yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like prior to them getting the warrant. Welcome, Cypher. Good to see you.
Hi, Cypher.
Cypher is having technical issues. Shout out to Lemon Pound Cake, says Hugh. We're gonna watch. We're gonna watch that. Yeah, just wait. They should have locked him up anyway, says the Chatter King. Rappers. Oh, rappers would. You'd like to make a generality about rappers. Good to see a Chatter King. Yeah, well, we've all kind of reached a consensus here that the PDF allegations were a bit too far, but the other ones seem in good jest, and the footage seems like it should have been disclosed in the First Amendment in the way that Afroman did. Cypher, you good now?
I should be.
Yeah.
There he is.
Good morning. Welcome to the Afroman Shite Show review. Have you seen this trial?
Bits and pieces.
Okay, cool. So these law enforcement people completed a search warrant which yielded nothing but humiliated the man. He's not allowed to fight back publicly. I don't think that he countersued, but to be fair, he did make a bunch of money off of the merch and the music videos.
That was countersuit enough.
Collateral, if you ask me. That's great collateral.
Yeah, I mean, I think he probably just took it as is, but yeah, I mean, he could. I mean, they did it on they did it in this year. 2022. They raided his house. He's probably past the statute of limitations.
It sounds like he did took it in good jest at the very least, since he made a bunch of money off of it.
Yeah, I also think it would kind of ruin the street cred of the videos and stuff if he then was like, oh, I'm going to sue them back. I think he kind of got what he came for, if you know what I mean. Probably made easier money the way he did than trying to countersue. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Right. Let's get going.
But at the end of the day, I'm going to be asking you for a number for all these people that is in the 7 figures.
Wow.
That's how serious we take this.
And that's where I'm losing even more credibility.
Damages element that may go to you depending on what the judge decides. And that's going to be another decision you'll have to make based on how bad you think this is and what this conduct deserves that's been done to these people. At the end of the day, it's about what's legal, what's moral, what needs to be done to make up in some way for what's been done to these deputies that have spent their careers defending this community and living in this community. That's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, 6 people, so 7 figures isn't that crazy. But yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna watch the defense.
That is an impressive beard.
Of course. That's the first thing.
You're not wrong. That is an impressive beard.
It's giving he's got a full head of hair too. He's like hair maxing. That guy drinks a lot of biotin and collagen in his teeth.
It reminds me of Zach Galifianakis.
If Zach Galifianakis had a Juris Doctorate. One of my favorite parts is the officer that says he doesn't know if Afroman is sleeping with his wife.
But that's how you have to play it. It's just show how fucking ridiculous the entire claims are, and you dragged everybody into court for this shit.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Stage name Afroman. And I want to thank you for your service today. This is not going to be an easy case. This is going to take a week of dedication of you to go through. Not an easy thing to ask, but something that we appreciate you are willing to do. This case is about the freedom of speech protections contained within the First Amendment of the United States and the Ohio Constitution. It is about an American citizen's right to make public comments about the actions of public officials, actions that took place in his own home. Actions that took place within his home were part of his artistic, creative expressions. And Americans maintain a right to criticize, to mock public officials. And that includes law enforcement officers.
Sorry, guys.
On August 21st of 2022, Detective Brian Newland drafted a search warrant. That search warrant was based upon an interview conducted with a confidential informant. That confidential informant gave Mr. Newland information. He put it in a search warrant, and then he went and he saw Judge Roy Gabbard, and Roy signed it. From there, they went to execute that very same day. Officers from the Adams County Sheriff's Office, 7 of the 10, descended upon Mr. Foreman's residence with a hastily prepared search warrant. For a man who's famous for a song that said, "I got high," the amount of force used was excessive, to say the least. After all, based on the song, a bag of Doritos would have been enough to take him out. But they deemed it necessary to not only go to his residence, body armor, and even a riot.
I like this lawyer.
To execute their search warrant. And all that.
I generally like defense lawyers better. I don't know. I think that they, I think this is all they do. They defend criminals in a funny way.
Tie. It is very patriotic. I love that tie.
A bag of Doritos would have been enough to take him out.
Oh, I actually have a question though. Did they pay back for the door since they smashed it in?
I don't think so.
Oh, so he had to pay for his door.
There's this whole music video about it, like, will you help me repair my door, that we're gonna watch?
Okay, sure. Then I can understand him being super fucking salty. It's just like, my door got broke. I came home to a door, now it's gone.
Yeah, the police did not pay for his door. Yeah, that's funny. It resulted in $20,000 in damages to his gate, door, and security system. And the police never even provided a report. Oh, Lord.
How are the for the police now?
Yeah, and the man strip rocking up to court in an American flag tailor-made suit. Yeah, heck yeah. America, fuck yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Coming again to save the motherfucking day.
Yeah.
America.
That's like an eagle, screeching at the end. How long, Nate? How are PDF accusations causing any worse public consequence than the public charge of kidnapping? Well, there was never a conviction. So, and I mean, everybody saw the trial, but yeah, I get your point. Absolutely. Hello, listener is a lawyer now. Wow. He should be a public defense attorney. Yeah. Clarence would like to say that, yeah, he did have to replace his own door. So he just made a song. That's what Will You Help Me Repair My Door is about.
That's hilarious, but then it also shows the law enforcement's part is just like, you accused me of something, raided my home, took my cash, and then all you have to say is sorry with my cash back. What the fuck, man?
Oh, I love this. This is great.
Destructive search of Mr. Foreman's residence. Deputies searched Mr. Foreman's home, every one of his outbuildings, behind the couch, under the hood of a car. And you know what they found? A couple of little joints, which, let's face it, because I got high, that was expected. And then they found cash. His cash, not theirs. His.
Yes, I would nail that home.
They seized all that. It was cataloged, returned to the office by Brian Newland. Newland then does what's required by law. After you search, you have to return a thing to the court that says every single thing you seized, a return on your search warrant to tell the court what you took. In that, he puts a number for the amount of cash that was there. Now, Mr. Foreman, well, let me back up because there's something I forgot during the search. For a search for marijuana, or whatever was in the search warrant, we'll introduce that later. They disconnected his security camera system. He has a security camera system in the house. He's had break-ins before. Most Americans, he has a security camera system. Yet in the middle of their search, they disconnected. They say it's going to be because they wanted to take it for evidence. But you know where that evidence ended up? On the couch over there. Just disconnect it and leave it there.
Fail.
Now, what precipitated next is the primary focus of the lawsuit. Mr. Foreman.
Glacier, trying to say something?
Oh, I was saying that the fact that they took the security camera as a way of saying that, oh, we needed it for evidence, and then they dropped it on his couch is just like a fail.
Yeah. I mean, don't police departments have like a protocol for what they're supposed to do? And I don't think going in, especially knowing that it's a high profile person, right? Like, why did you go into this circumstance and disconnect his security camera, rough up his house unnecessarily? Like, were they not aware of who he is? And I'm not saying that he deserves special treatment. I'm just saying from the police officer's standpoint, like, if you know that the person that you're going to rough up, right, and you're going to act in a manner that you shouldn't, like, wouldn't you act correctly around a high profile person?
They were hoping that whatever accusations that they built up on him was actually true. And the moment that it becomes not true, everything starts to unravel.
I don't know. I mean, these cops just sound really terrible.
Incompetent and petty? Yeah.
Yeah.
Police training has been one of the few things that gets skipped a lot.
We talked about this earlier. I even said, I said, the fact that they would think that such a, like, he's not super rich, but he's pretty infamous, that they wouldn't have security cameras at his house, or that he wouldn't, like, because he's known for mocking, police and stuff like that, that he wouldn't have done that is just ridiculous to me. Like, also just generally when you're performing your duties as a public official, you should probably be professional. I don't know.
Right. Well,
just
and
thoughts.
then isn't like disconnecting security equipment, I mean, that is sketchy.
Yeah, it's
right?
sketchy.
Like, I don't know how they would justify that, and what they tried to say that they were trying to admit it to evidence.
Good to see you, Casper. Apparently, he had some kind of backup system because they didn't disconnect everything. But somebody that I won't name because I don't know if this is correct, but I could have sworn somebody that I know on YouTube had said that when the cops raided their house, that they had their like stuff broken and like disconnected and stuff. And I don't know. I think it's pretty common, more common than you'd like to think.
I mean, I can see partially why it might be considered to be effective, but also at the same time, it is definitely a violation of privacy, and this is only a warrant, which means that there's suspicion. So it's like it's really a huge gray area.
Well, they need the footage, right? Like they need to seize that because it might be evidence of those activities that the warrant is for having occurred in the home. So I get why they need the footage.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying
right?
it's a gray area. That's why it's like a huge gray area where it's just like it's understandable, but at the same time, it ends up being a bit more of a violation when you find out that the evidence that you were looking for isn't there.
Right. Yeah, and they only found a few joints on like $4,000 cash or something like that in this. So
$4,000.
He said a lot of cash. He said a lot of cash, and I'm like, $4,000 isn't that much.
A lot of cash. I mean, it is like to the average person, but I mean, like in terms of like him, like he has a net worth of 200K. He's like he's a pretty famous guy.
For
I guess
his position, it might be typical.
It wouldn't be that weird.
Have disposable cash.
Hugh says any cop can justify it, whether it's actually applicable or not. So said, ask me. So I don't do criminal law. My experience with criminal law is pretty much limited to like my mock trials that I coach that all deal with constitutional, aka criminal law. From my understanding, it's a valid argument for them to seize the footage from the home as long as it's captured in the scope of the warrant. Like the warrant that the judge issues should include what can be seized from the home. So if it's any kind of like proceeds of crime, evidence of crime, tools used in the completion of crimes, et cetera. So if it was tools, right, I guess you could technically take the equipment, but why would you need like the video cameras? I have no clue. Chatter King would like to point out that in America, it's a bit more sketchy for y'all.
So I'm going to suggest something that's going to take it in a wild direction. I don't understand why local law enforcement doesn't have access to the type of signals intelligence that larger intelligence agencies have access to. So for instance, did you know that using your Wi-Fi router, you can basically bounce enough signal around your house to see through walls and to like know like all of the infrastructure of a house? Like it basically turns your house into like a sonar exoskeleton that you can like see through imaging, right? So like why like have you seen that scene in Batman when they turn on the crazy sonar display?
Oh,
yeah. It's like that with your Wi-Fi. And like intelligence agencies have shown that they can do that. Why don't local law enforcement like have access to use that, right? Because if you think that something incriminating is hidden in a house, then why, like, do you hear where I'm going with it? Like, what? Like you could easily reveal it.
All I have to say about that is that you're asking a lot from a bunch of cops. That's all I feel like. It's just like as much as the police budget may be, the average cop is undertrained typically and not that smart. They just have a baseline intelligence. I don't think anybody who is aware of it would be in the techie sphere and nowhere near cops.
Well, okay, so then let's compare jurisdictions real quick. Where is Afroman based?
Ohio.
Okay.
Adams County.
Okay, and see where I live, we actually do have a very technologically advanced police department, where like they are in all of the cameras around town, and they basically surveil the entire town 100% of the time. And so you very rarely see cops patrolling, but when there's something that needs a cop's attention, like they just show up out of nowhere. It's like at first it kind of is off-putting.
Yeah, that seems dystopian a little bit.
It kind of is, because they're like literally every street corner has cameras and they are like wired into it. Like it's everywhere here.
Just a second before I comment on that, because like there's something else that we do here. I don't know if you guys do it down there as well. Hollowing Nate says that he understood that there was no surveillance before the search warrant execution, so this was able to be acted upon by the word of one confidential informant. I mean, that's possible. They could have also like tailed him themselves. But yeah, confidential informants are something that can be utilized for a search warrant. Yeah. Something about lead paint. Cop is undertrained based on what? I mean, I didn't assert that. Who said that?
Glacier.
I did. I have one of the issues that my uncle has always had is the fact that there's not enough time taken into training a lot of cops from personal experiences, but it's just also police standards in general. It does become questionable how many times you come across like very fat police.
I'll give you that, but as far as training as a whole, I think that varies based on municipality.
Got some crazy things.
Yeah. Sorry.
So one of the officers had 21 years experience. So, I mean, I'm trying to find the exact like CVs for these guys, but
no, I mean, I think I'm more aligned with System on this, because I think it does really depend on the jurisdiction that we're based out of. Because I mean, I can tell you, the cops where I live, like they are top notch. Like and again, I know it sounds like creepy, but it's actually like we have a very safe community. We have like virtually no crime.
Yeah, I generally like my cops, and they even went to bat for us when mask mandates started being a thing with the C-19 shit. Mm-hmm. The cops like held a town hall, and they were like, "We're not going to enforce this. Yeah. We're not gonna fuck with you."
Huh. Where I live, it like depends. Like there's a nice area, and like one area is like right beside it is like super nice gated community kind of thing. Where I live, it's like there's a lot of police presence here, but like there's not like sirens all the time. There's nobody like getting arrested and stuff. There's just like there's police just patrolling the area, making sure everything's good. It's like it's very, very, very relaxed and safe. It feels like, but yeah, I think that's like just a larger area kind of thing. What I was gonna say, Cypher, is that they can do that. They can get like the traffic cams. The other thing too is if they get approval for it, they can take people's like electrical usage and utilize that information, or even their subscriber information, like from their telephone companies, to try and opine as to whether or not they're committing a crime. Like, did you know that you can use your electricity usage patterns to determine whether or not somebody's growing marijuana?
Sure.
Not only that, but in winter places, if every house has like snow on the roof, but this one house doesn't, they're going to check out that house because they're it's a warmer house. Yeah, it's a warmer house, so it's probably got grow lights and all that in there.
Yeah, I don't know what I think Glacier is speaking from like her personal knowledge here, Hugh. I
It is more
I
like personal knowledge.
it's her personal knowledge. She would like to make a joke about cops and donuts. She hasn't made it yet, but just stay tuned. I'm sure that she will.
Well, cops and donuts seems like low tier and really old.
Yeah, cops follow cop law. Cops and shitty cops majority follow the law. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good cops out there. I think there's bad cops, as like any profession. You know, there's good lawyers and bad lawyers.
No denying that. My uncle was always a good cop.
He was waiting for your donut joke, and he can't wait for it. He can hardly contain his excitement. All right, let's continue.
Did what he's done through his entire career. He took his life experiences and turned them into music, social commentary, and artistic expression. After all, one only need to look at the song, Because I Got High. The lyrics are there. I was going to clean my room because I got high. He was rapping about his life then, and his posts are talking about his life and his experiences. During the search of Mr. Foreman's home, deputies' actions during the search was captured in 2 places. One, the security system of Mr. Foreman. Joe's security system was active until they cut it. You also have body camera footage. Now, we don't have body camera footage for all 10. Not everybody was wearing body cam, but the officers that did, there is body cam footage.
Whoa, not everybody was wearing body cams?
And yeah, that's common. Not all of them have them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that weird.
This footage from both those locations to make his music videos. He posts them on social media like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and even TikTok. The plaintiffs decided they did not like what Joe had to say about him, or how they portrayed him, or how he used the footage of their behavior as their job as law enforcement officers, as public officials. Their response was to sue him in order to silence his freedom of speech, threaten his livelihood. After all, have you ever heard of a law enforcement officer suing a person for making a social commentary on them? Or have you ever heard of an officer suing anybody because someone said they didn't like what they had to say? Officers deal with it all the time. I dealt with it during my election. You don't sue people. You respect the freedom of this country and move on. Because we don't have freedom.
The eagle screech after he says he is undeniably patriotic.
Patriotic. Very patriotic.
I love it so much.
What else is there?
I like this guy.
250 years ago, the founders of this great country won.
Yeah, except for the fact that he has not 1 but 2 pens in the internal and extra, like in his vest and his exterior pen protector slot. Hello, sir. If that pen leaks, that entire suit is damaged. If one of those pen leaks, it's bad. If both of them leaks, it's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, but look at this man. Does he look like he gives a single fuck?
No.
I'm just by myself.
Also, how could you possibly be in a situation where you need to sign something and you don't have a pen? You need a pen.
It's just concealed carrying his pens, dude.
For court,
like I support this. I support this. It's just like however many pockets I have, I shove things in each and every one of them.
It's just a general court rule that anything that can happen in court will happen. So you should bring 4 of everything. And like, if you just absolutely bare minimum 3 of everything, including documents, pens, notepads, laptop chargers, all of this stuff. I have a stack of books right now because I got 2 trials going on. All right.
To limit the government's involvement and what government officials had power over.
Gotta get more pens.
And that's why we have the freedom of speech we have today. Before we get to the evidence, I want you to understand this case started with a number of claims. Of them, 2 were dismissed by the court. It should be noted that public officials, such as these gentlemen and Ms. Phillips over here, are held to a higher standard than an ordinary person. They're public officials. They are expected to be criticized and mocked. The evidence will indicate that Mr. Foreman created songs with titles like Will You Repair My Door? Lemon Pound Cake. These songs went viral, yes. People connected with the message and understood what Joe was trying to say. The video songs resonated with the public because they addressed something that people care deeply about as Americans, and that is how law enforcement officers conduct themselves.
Amen.
Joe also made statements on social media about the search and the officers involved. Some of these statements were openly critical and expressed Joe's opinions about what happened. Statements about missing money. And he used some strong language, some exaggerated language. We call it hyperbolic language, to present his message and his opinion. But all these statements were a matter of public concern as well as statements about his personal opinions. The experience of law enforcement officers executing a destructive search warrant is well beyond question, as it is a matter of public concern. The plaintiffs are going to point to specific statements that Joe made. They're going to claim these statements are defamatory. They are going to attempt to remove them from their context. Statements aren't in a vacuum. There's context. If you get called a name, if my wife yells at me, there's probably context to it. That context is what we're going to show you. Because if you look at those statements in isolation and simply ignore the conduct that sparked them, you can't understand really what was going on. You'll be asked to forget much of that context of the statements. At least not the, I should say the least of it is that the plaintiffs are public officials and the public has a right to criticize them. The evidence will show that Mr. Foreman's statements fall into three categories. The first, many of these statements are his opinions. Opinions are not assertions of fact. They are Joe's subjective views about his encounter with these public officials and the execution of their duties. The First Amendment protects the right to express those opinions, even if they're harsh, even if they're mean, even if the person who
Good to see you, Uda.
who is the subject of them hates them. They are protected. Second, many of the statements are exaggerated, rhetorical exaggeration, as you might expect from a musician. After all, if you didn't have Because You Got High, if I said I just didn't want to clean the room, no one would have bought that song. You have to exaggerate something. You'll see he used colorful language, sarcasm, and satire. No reasonable person would have understood these statements to be literal assertions of fact. For example, Mr. Foreman created nicknames and made comparisons to cartoon characters. No reasonable person would understand those as a literal assertion of fact. That is a rhetorical.
He's a big boy. You know?
Come on. Lay off of him.
He's got a bit of, extra cushion for the pushing,
Satire flourish.
Don't hate.
That has always been part of our social and political commentary in this country.
It takes a lot to fuel legal power like this, Hugh, okay?
After all, pick up the newspaper, you're going to see a political cartoon making fun of somebody. Watch Saturday Night Live. They make fun of people all the time. They even make fun of Joe. It just happens. It's part of our freedom of speech and also Mr. Foreman's artistic expression. The third is the extent that any of the statements assert facts. They relate to matters of public concern. Matters of public concern are exempted. These statements address how the search was conducted, what actions were taken,
Beard maxing,
and how Mr. Foreman experienced this as a homeowner with these people executing their hasty search warrant. Indeed, the public's concern for such issues is reflected in the viral response that his content got.
Like a Quaker.
The plaintiffs bear the burden of proof in this matter, not Joe. They must carry the day. They must prove every element of their claim. Looking at the invasion of privacy due to false light, it's one of the claims that they're claiming. The plaintiffs must prove that Mr. Foreman portrayed them in a false light.
Yes,
that would
sir.
be highly offensive
Who
to a
is
reasonable
beard
person.
maxing?
The evidence will show that he
It's an expression. It's like, I'm beard maxing. If
It's
you're
just
beard
like
maxing, you got like a
Rhodes
big
is-
beard.
He has the best of both worlds. Full head of hair and a luscious beard.
Stop making the bald man insecure, Glacier. Gonna make
Whoops.
Vin Diesel blush, okay? If Vin Diesel is watching this video, he's not going to be happy, okay? Come on. Vin Diesel has neither. Okay, Glacier, just think about that before you say something so insensitive. Jeez.
I'm sure he shaves.
did not. He used real actual footage of them performing their duties. Stuff in the public domain. Joe's statements were based entirely on his personal experience and within his county of residence, which that is something I do want to clear up. Mr. Foreman lives in Adams County, not Hamilton County. Mr. Klingler is wrong about that. So he is a resident of this county.
Oof.
Regarding the defamation claim, plaintiffs must prove that Mr. Foreman made false statements of fact, not his opinions. That's very important.
Yeah, defamation.
Because we all have opinions as Americans. It's one of the great things about this country is we can share our opinions whether we like them or not. Whether they like them or not, they can hear my opinions. But they must prove those statements were not opinions, because public officials then prove that Joe acted with actual malice rather than just simply exercising his First Amendment right. The evidence will show they cannot meet this burden. Plaintiffs claim that Joe portrayed them in a false light, but evidence will show Joe used direct footage from security cameras. We can see what they did. They executed the search warrant. It's all on camera. There's nothing false about showing them that way. There's nothing false about Mr. Foreman having opinions about how they did in them. However, when they executed that search warrant, that became a matter of public scrutiny. People could watch it. People could see what was done and form their own opinions. and they can share those opinions. And he has a right to create artistic expression based on those opinions, based on that content. The plaintiffs, it goes without saying that they don't like what Mr. Foreman said about him, but they don't have to. That's part of our right in this country. They don't like his commentary. They don't like his art. But the First Amendment does not protect speech that we like. It protects all speech within it. It protects commentary, criticism, especially on occasions such as this. It protects speech that I would not like, speech I've suffered. It protects it. You may not like the speech you hear, but it's protected. Throughout this trial, you'll hear testimony and see evidence that demonstrates several key points. You will see the actual videos and social media posts Mr. Foreman created. You'll be able to judge for yourselves whether they are false, whether they're his opinions, whether they're artistic expression that is all protected. It's about the right to comment on criticize public officials without fear of retribution, without fear of getting sued.
Indeed.
It's about the right to create artistic expressions that are matters of public concern. The plaintiffs are law enforcement officers. They perform a cardinal public function. But with that public role comes public accountability. It also comes a certain standard that you have to understand. And as public officials, they can be criticized. They may not like it, but it's allowed. Plaintiffs have the burden of proving the claims. The evidence will show they cannot meet that burden. The evidence will show that Joe's videos, posts, and commentary were artistic expression for matters of legitimate public concern, his opinions on the law enforcement officers, and how they were performing their duties. If the plaintiffs prevail in this case, what message will that send to this country if they prevail? It sends the message that if you criticize law enforcement, if you comment on how they conduct themselves, if you mock them, if you create art with them in it, they can sue you. That's not the America we live in. That's not why we have a Constitution in the First Amendment. That's not why the First Amendment is in the Constitution of the state of Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, upon the examination of the evidence at the end of this trial, I'm confident you'll conclude that Joe did nothing wrong. While the plaintiffs are unhappy, upset with what was said, he exercised a right he had, a right that every American has. He commented on matters of public concern. He created art. He did what any stand-up citizen would do. He made his voice heard to the people. At the end of this trial, I'm going to ask you to return a verdict in favor of Mr. Foreman on every one of their claims. I'll ask that you vindicate his First Amendment rights. And I'll ask that you send a message to the American people that you can criticize public officials and that we are not living in a dictatorship where if you don't like what is said, you just sue someone to shut them up. Thank you.
All right. So obviously we could watch the extensive components of each of the officers being questioned, but that would take us forever. So instead, although it's not as great quality, I am going to show you Instagram clips
of the funny bits.
Wait. Am I seeing a picture of Afroman wearing a freaking American flag suit?
Yeah, that's one of the trial.
Oh my gosh.
Glacier, just look at the clip or the link you posted in the Discord.
Oh, where?
And as you can probably imagine, at the conclusion of the judge's verdict, which we will watch in a clip, I will play a very important song. Well, a clip from a song. I don't want to get another copyright strike. All right. Let's, without further ado, let us go to the most pivotal moment here, which is the lemon pound cake officer.
Yes, highlights.
Lemon pound cake. The song's stuck in my head now. All right. Let's go.
Pound cake by Mr. Foreman.
I'm going to restart it just because the sound. Instagram is so annoying with these reels.
Sorry. Sean, you were called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman?
Multiple times.
You
received hundreds of pound cakes at work.
Wait, he
so
got
paid
pound
more.
cakes? Oh my gosh, that's
name comes
fantastic.
Yeah, he received pound cakes at work.
That's awesome.
You know, yeah, if that was me, I'd be like, all right, I'm the
Holy
pound
shit.
cake guy.
I would be grabbing all those pound cakes, and every neighbor that I know, I'd be giving them out. It's just like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. It's just like, where are you getting this? I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
Video that Mr. Foreman created, correct?
I don't know where he got it at, but You'd have to ask him that question.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play what's marked Defense Exhibit V. I'd like you to watch this.
Okay.
Oh, you guys aren't doing that.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some living pounded. Mama's living pounded. It takes so long.
I'm fucking jamming.
Is the audio okay? Do you guys want me to
Wait,
put this,
oh
at least the
my
video on
gosh.
the
Wait, this mofo goes into his house, sees the pound cake, and
Yeah.
cuts a slice for himself?
Yeah.
You know
I don't
what?
know about cuts a slice.
Well,
I didn't see it.
He did, apparently that's what he's saying.
They watched
Right.
the
What-
entire video, so rather than like force you guys to listen to the horrible audio quality, I think I'm gonna play the
Yeah.
video
let's
from.
upgrade this
And
a
we
little.
should be fine because like this is fair use commentary.
I hope so.
It should be fine.
All right, let's keep going.
Oh my gosh, he took his pound cake.
Yeah, as they're completing the search.
He does stare completely at the pound cake, but I didn't see any footage of him pulling up of grabbing it.
Yeah,
You know what? This is not even that bad of a song.
Hey, Titty.
It's not even that bad of a song. He should see this as a boon.
This is a boom. Good to see you, Owen. Welcome to the panel.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know, anything Afroman makes, he makes it fair use for commentary, so you don't have to worry
That's
about
so
it.
perfect.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
you won't have to worry about a copyright strike from him because he literally does fair use. And I've seen his song being used like 900 times on TikTok and on YouTube so far.
Oh,
Same
good.
thing with falling in
So it'll
reverse.
just be great
too.
publicity for him either way.
Yeah, we are on the side of the First Amendment with this trial. So, all right,
Yes.
let's keep going.
Okay, that was a beautiful song.
Listen,
Oh, that was awesome.
I think you need to force Emmett to sing that karaoke.
In a karaoke
Dude.
game.
Yeah.
I want to hear
forced
Emmett.
karaoke.
I want to hear
Emmett
Emmett try
sing
to
this
sing
song? The next time he has karaoke. Oh gosh.
Looks homeless.
I want to hear it because Emmett is like
Not with those
he
voices.
forgets. Yeah, he forgets like the melodies and the harmonies. So it's so good when he fucks it up.
Oh my gosh. I mean, like Emmett doesn't even really sing karaoke. Like he doesn't sing it. He just kind of says
He
it.
struggles. He's on like a struggle bus the entire time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Toots would like to point out that he's busting down racial barriers. Because there's a bunch of Caucasian teenagers and stuff in this music video. Oh my gosh, it is a banger.
Yeah, a lot of
though.
his fans look like they're white. Yeah.
Afroman, when I was a kid growing up, Afroman was like the white kid rap music. Like, Because I Got High and Colt 45 were like the two biggest songs in the late 90s, to where like you could sing it as a white person and black people would still respect you.
Yeah, so he's the only like famous person that's ever come to my town here in the sticks. And I didn't go, but I saw recordings of it. And my area is largely white. It's a tiny in the sticks town. But you just see a group of white people all jamming with Afroman.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think it's like his fans are fans. It's just like why dismiss your fans?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the video that he addresses all the cops in yet?
No, we haven't.
Like his testimony on the stand?
No, he made another video after the trial, after he won. He made another video using the Marching On song, like the gospel, We're on Our Way to the Cross, or whatever it's called. But he does like a parody of it. and he's wearing his American flag suit and making fun of all the cops. You should.
Sounds like a victory. Sounds like a victory lap to me.
You need to watch it.
Okay, I'll check it. Can you post it in the back chat, Ellen? I'm just trying to make sure that I don't do the same thing that I did with the last one again, where I like play the actual music video, but don't catch up on the Instagram ones. I'm like, but thank you for the commentary to catch up. So now, this is the part he's seen the video, right? And he's being questioned on it. The officer.
Yes, let's continue watching this because I don't see why you would be complaining about receiving free pound cakes.
Mama's little pound cake on it tastes so nice. Makes him wanna put down his gun.
Yeah. You would admit that you with the glasses walking by the lemon pound cake on the counter?
Yes.
And that is security footage from the search of Mr. Foreman's residence?
I assume, yes.
But there's no question that you during the search?
Yes.
There is question?
No, that was me, yes, absolutely.
Mr. Cooley, sorry, Sean, you were called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Foreman?
Multiple times.
You
received hundreds of pound cakes.
So that's the so yeah, he just admits that, yeah, that's what happened. I think, like, you know, receiving pound cakes is a gift, but whatever.
Free pound cakes, man.
Free pound cakes.
The only issue is how do I dispense with so many fucking pound cakes?
Oh Lord.
Objection, Your Honor. It was not lemon pound cake. It was strawberry banana bread.
No.
Dang.
Damn. I mean, I personally hate lemon desserts, but I think there's somebody on the panel that does like lemon. I forget who it is. I think it says some. I'm not sure.
I like lemon. I love lemon anything.
Yeah, it's him. Yes.
There we
Filthy
go.
lemon lover. All right.
Lemon meringue pie.
You lemon lover.
Lemon meringue pie is gross, but lemon regular pie is okay.
Huh. No, nothing lemon for me. I dislike lemon.
I'll just eat a lemon. Straight up.
Bloody Clarence
bloody
appealed to humanity. He says that how many homeless people in this town would appreciate some pound cake? And we also have Sharon Bracey on the panel. Welcome, Mr. Bracey. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Good day, everyone. How y'all doing?
Good day.
Good morning.
Good yourself?
I'm just chilling, hanging out with the cool kids. That's all.
Awesome. We're reviewing the
perfect time. You're watching Afroman's swipes at the cops.
I presume you've seen this trial, right, sir?
I heard about it, but I didn't actually see it though.
Oh, okay. Well, we went through the opening statements, and now we're just on to the highlights, and then we'll do closings, and then a bit of some of the music videos too along the way. All right. Without further ado, oh, you've got a fan. Toots is a big fan. She calls you Gary
Good
Sherry.
day to you, Tootie.
Toots. All right, let's watch this.
Is it true that Mr. Foreman called you a hunchback?
Yes.
And specifically compared you to Quasimodo,
Yes.
the Disney hero?
I'm assuming that's who it is.
Quasimodo from the Disney movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
I've never watched it.
No, you uncultured swine.
Pause real quick.
So
Yeah, what's up?
No, yeah, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney rendition. That's one of my favorite movies now, honestly. It's
Really?
I love that it's a good movie. It's a good movie from the 90s. It isn't focused on romance. The actual story, the original rendition of it, terrible. But most people are going to know the Disney rendition.
Yeah, but either way, it's not Notre Dame. It's Hunchback of Notre Dame. Uncultured swine.
S'il vous plaît.
Fine.
Parlez-vous le français?
Oui, je
It is
parle
a
un
French
petit
sword.
peu. J'ai étudié la langue de français à ma école.
Means.
Привет, как дела?
Oh, das Vidania.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Spasiba.
Bro, you're losing us.
Привет, английский, по-русски. I know a bit of
AVG.
That was horrible, by the way, but I knew what you was trying to say.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
But I mean, that's a good shot, though. I like it.
Is right? I tried.
Fick dich von Scheiße, my Fräulein.
Why the
you learned that in Philadelphia?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch, ja.
Ich bin lieben.
Auch noch nicht.
I know pieces of every language. That's the moral of the story here. We got a Serbian in the chat. He says, Spasiba, privyet. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. All right, I'm just going to keep going.
That was actually pretty good English, using the English alphabet to spell it. Actually.
He's Serbian. He's
okay. That's makes
sense.
He is a born and bred Slav. Yeah, Serbia is Havla. Havla. Is it Havla? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, let's keep going. This is not a language review video. All right.
You would agree that when a person says that someone's a crooked defense attorney, they're not meaning that on like a vine, they're meaning that as a opinion, correct?
Correct.
Would you agree that when someone calls you a thief, it might be an opinion of theirs?
Can be, yeah.
Same as if when people say crooked cops, it's just an opinion?
Yeah.
And so is your entire claim for false light that you were called a thief?
Yes.
And you would agree that Mr. Foreman is an artist subject to exaggeration?
I guess so, yeah.
And just for the sake of question, nobody would ever think you're Quasimodo from the book, correct?
I don't guess. People think different things.
Wow. Giving them nothing.
Is it
People
true that Mr.
think
Foreman
different things.
Sorry?
People thinks different things.
Yes, thanks. Different things. Oh my gosh. This one is
it really just collapses in on itself. It's just like you realize that this is just random commentary, right?
This is the woman that was accused of being a lesbian.
The one who was victimized the worst, they say.
Yeah.
Breaks down as the video is played.
Yeah, I'm going to play you guys the actual music video when it starts because this is crap quality and nobody deserves to suffer through that. And then we'll go back to it after she actually talks. I'm just making sure that there's no
dancing in the driveway, singing how
is this actual court footage?
And I need to learn how to count how many pussies I've licked.
This is actual footage that he used to support that she's a lesbian, yes.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and this has made it on to where I have to swallow because things that's being said. Are you Lieutenant Licking Low, Lisa Phillips, Pussy Licking Phillips? I like to go to Walmart and be called a guy because of your voice. Or asking if you got a pecker. How would you like that? Would you like a female or a guy asking if you got a vagina? Probably not. Unless they and have me on their gate.
I don't know. I can't. It's all just a legend. It's all just speculation. But I assume this is her describing the events of what happened with the video because, like, she's mentioning the video. So I think this is what's happening.
I think this is her, like
she's recapping what happened in the video and why she's been damaged by it. Yeah,
yes,
that's my understanding. Unless this is AI, but so it's a great AI. But
if it is, it's great AI.
I have to prove I don't have a penis. Yeah. I was on my way to work one morning, right in Panhandle, stopped at the stop sign. The commissioners had contracted a crew that was working in Panhandle. I get hollered, Lieutenant Licking Low, Lisa Phillips. You want calls, or you didn't have to be working. You get a holler from Lieutenant Licking Low, Lisa Phillips, Pussy Licking. I'm not a crooked cop, I'm not a thief. And I sure don't have a penis.
I just got my peepees hurt.
There's been times that videos have been sent to me.
Hey, she is a delicate and sensitive lady. Okay,
maybe
come
she
on.
should be in the police department.
I've had to go home because I can't handle it. You know? You know, I'll tell you what's sad. Is the fact that, number one, that I have to be emotional because your client lies. I've had a deep voice in my entire life. I did not wake up one morning and beg God to have a deep voice, all right? I have not had a sex change. I do not have a penis. I shouldn't have to prove I don't have a penis. Or about having a penis bigger than the rest of the guys that I work with. And pulling people over and licking pussy. I mean, come on.
Honestly, that's sort of a flex.
Let's get some likes for this quality entertainment, guys, please. Oh, Lord.
Look at me in the face and tell me what it means. What does emotional distress mean to you? Obviously, this right here.
You're saying there's no one else to call, or there is other people and you don't know?
I'm not going to put anybody else in the middle of it. So.
Lisa, I'm sorry. I didn't know that hurt you like that, man. You kind of intimidated me. I mean, you're a cop. I know you're. I'm sorry. I mean, you guys raided my house. You knocked down my door. I was upset. I would never shoot you, or I would never try to punch you. I thought I'd crack some musical jokes, and I didn't know they hurt you that bad. I'm sorry. I think you're a nice looking lady. I didn't know you was a biological lady. I'm sorry. I was just having fun with the bad situation. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Oh, man, Jesus. Hang on. Let's take a little break, everybody. Hang on.
The front license plate is Lemon Pound Cake.
Yeah, of course. That's, you need to have an actual digit on that thing, I'm pretty sure.
Oh no.
It's a good melody, though. I like that.
Is it good what, Sharon?
It's a good melody.
It is.
Yeah, it seems that Afroman does have musical talent.
He does. He does. Now, I bet you he takes her back to the home and something unsavory happens.
And he is hilarious. He is funny.
Yes.
He is hilarious. I never really listened to his music besides because I was high. This is my first time actually listening to him after that song. But he is hilarious, especially since it's a real situation. It's funny.
Did you?
I don't know if I can listen to it more than once, but it's funny.
Did you catch when we watched Lemon Pound Cake earlier?
Yeah, that's when I first hopped on.
Oh yeah.
I think I love Lemon Pound Cake now. It's just like that is a win-win situation. It's just like the Lemon Pound Cake. I show up in the song, and now with the reaction, I get pound cakes almost every day.
Put down his gun
The fact that these people are so upset over him trolling them or over him just making a little bit of fun over a real situation that they did to him is crazy to me. Like, y'all did something really harmful to his life. He just made a song, and you acting like the songs is more detrimental than what you actually did. You being in that person's house is crazy to me. But you know, the predator turns into the victim very easy sometimes. So
they accused him of drug trafficking, kidnapping, and damaged his home to the tune of $20,000. And he never got anything back other than the merch and these amazing videos. Oh, Lord.
Instead of attempting for a countersuit, all he did instead was making music about them.
That's a flex. Oh, so welcome DJ Man to the panel. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Had a good birthday.
Oh, hey, what's up?
He just got out of bed. We're reviewing the Afroman trial. So. All right. We'll continue this on, and then I'll go to the court where she reacts to this.
Wait a minute. What the fuck is this?
Oh, this. I did a show one night, and this girl said, "Hey, Afroman, I want to give you some pussy."
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna make you guys watch this.
Okay, who's gonna Oh my god.
God.
Like two beast whales walking down the street.
She got a crazy bum for
Yeah. Like two beached whales walking down the street or some shit.
There you go, Toad. Hey, Charles. Good evening, sir. Good to see you, Dark Side. All right, so this is her reaction to it.
Ain't no way.
How those pictures up? How those pictures up?
Ain't no way.
Yeah, I got all the clips. Good to see you, Marvel.
What is she reacting
Crying
to?
like this. Ain't no way she crying like this for the damn.
Is she reacting to the police running in the
Okay,
That's
for the record,
crazy.
for the record, among all the cops, one of them was
Illinois.
accused of being a pedophile because of his music, and they said that her accusations were the worst because she had to get pills from a therapist.
That is insane. What up, Marvelous? Good day to you. That is hilarious. I ain't gonna lie. I need to start. Maybe if I start making songs,
Why
and
is
maybe
she
that pisses
crying?
people off even more. Because
I
I
don't
pissed
get. Is
people
she
off enough
saying that the
already.
police entered her house or what?
No, she was accused of being a lesbian. I don't know if you caught the clip, but she had some statements released apparently after the video, and she admitted to some, some fur burger.
What do she is she licking people low or?
Yeah, that's what she said in the. Did you
So
catch
she is
the?
so she is a lesbian, so she's crying because now everybody else knows she be licking them low?
Yeah.
Damn.
Wait, she is an actual lesbian?
Didn't you hear her in that after? Unless that was AI, she admitted to that she's had some.
That is insane.
Oh my gosh.
That is insane that you mad because that is insane. Hey.
Yeah,
Why is
Lisa.
she on trial though? Like what? I don't get it.
Quit your crying. Quit your crying. Quit your freaking crying.
Please, like if it is what it is, everybody know they know. You free. You supposed to be free. I thought you supposed to come out the closet. God damn it, not stay in it.
You're supposed to be proud of being a lesbian.
I don't get it. I don't get why she's in a trial stand though. I don't understand.
So I can't find any confirmation of her saying this publicly, probably because she's a cop and is not like an internet personality. But the suggestion is that there's been allegations that she's a lesbian, and that's what the song's about. And obviously, you think that the T allegations are wrong, but she looks very female to me.
What up, dog side? That is crazy.
Yeah, Sharon's on the panel. You can join us too if you'd like. We got one more spot.
Yeah, but why is she on trial?
She and other members of the Adams County Sheriff Department of Ohio have sued Afroman, or had sued Afroman, for defamation, amongst other things, after he profited on clips from them invading his home for the drug trafficking and other charges and kidnapping charges. And he made music videos of it. So they allege that he's like damaged their lives.
Oh, she wasn't the one in the music video. She was like, that was a parody of her, right?
It was a parody.
Oh shit! Okay.
Wait, she was the one that took the money?
This one is a sharp one here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take the police's side on this one.
No, you can't. The First Amendment, dude.
Yeah. He's black. He must have done something wrong.
Oh my gosh.
That's offensive. DJ man, you've got to be joking, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just joking.
Okay. What a bugger. What an a-hole. All right, let's keep going. Disavow. Yes, we disavow.
Yes, disavow.
Glacier is black, so is Sharon. What the heck?
No, I'm just kidding.
You think he ever cares?
Well, we know Sharon did something, but no, I'm just...
Oh.
What did Sharon do? I ain't do anything.
You don't have proof. You don't have proof, DJ man.
Who knows? Who knows what you did?
Now we got Marvelous Opinion on the panel. Shit's about to go down. Good to see you, Emo. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Good. We are just reviewing some of the Afroman trial highlights, and we're going to do the closings and the verdict and watch some videos and stuff. It's going to be a good time. Have you seen it?
Yes, I got caught up on the whole situation. I have my opinions about it, but yeah, let's continue.
All right. This is her reaction to watching the Lick 'em Low Lisa music video. This woman's been accused of being a lesbian and transgender, according to Afroman, and she has a pretty profound reaction to it.
Oh yes, this is totally believable. Honestly, that is a long song.
That's some of her reaction.
This is insane to me. Oh man, that's too funny.
Yeah, she's visibly distressed. Mystic Mark. Pause the here. Afroman's just jamming.
Jamming to his own music. Are we just hearing her sniffle?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, ridiculous.
Oh, this. I did a show
What does the judge say?
He's still under direct.
That it?
I'll give you 15.
Thought you were a strong cop, Lisa. What happened?
We're done. She's still under direct. You're directed not to coach her testimony. We can talk about other matters, but not her direct.
Understood, Judge. Thank you.
We'll start at 8:15
Fuck the crocodile tears.
tomorrow, and you can have your.
I kind of want to see the start now.
Thank
you guys don't mind?
For good work today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go ahead and go off the record.
That may be difficult.
And give me somebody you can get through.
I think I can get through my direct, Judge.
That's the goal. Thank you.
I don't care about being
Thank
sworn
you,
in.
Your Honor. Would you introduce yourself to the jury, please? Lisa Phillips. And Lisa, where do you live? Adams County. How long have you lived in Adams County? At least 24 years or so. And what do you do for a living? I'm a deputy sheriff. When did you start your career in law enforcement? 2001. And what were you doing at that time? I graduated high school in 2000 and went to the police academy. Well, what academy did you go to? Greenfield Police Academy in Hillsborough. And how long have you known you wanted to be a police officer? Since I was a kid. What was your first position then out of the academy? Part-time West Virginia Police Department. And then when did you was your next job a deputy sheriff? Yes, sir. When did you start as a deputy sheriff? September of 2002. And you have family here in Adams County? Yeah. Yes. You have a husband? Yes, sir. You have a child? Yes, sir. How old is your child? She's 21. And did she go to school here in Adams County? Yes, sir. Do you have other family in the area? I have grandma and cousins and family like that. And did you ever serve as a school resource officer? Yes, sir, I did. Tell us about that. I took the job full time at the sheriff's office as a school resource officer. Is what I started off as, deputy sheriff, school resource officer.
Pause it. That is
Then,
that voice will be confusing if you just heard it over the phone. That is kind of wild.
Yeah,
That is fair. But then
I would
again,
say
we
thank
love
you, sir.
her.
That's a
Yeah.
manly voice.
Yeah, that is a very
manly
interesting voice. I think it's also interesting that her child is 21, so maybe she just, now that she's older, she's a little bit more free to be looking them low. But you know, because sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get into that. But thank you for having me. I gotta go. I gotta go run around with the children.
No worries, Sharon. Family first. Have a great day, sir. Nice
All
having
right.
you. Toodles.
Mo, I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get back to the video, I guess.
I was there for the kids, just to keep the kids safe, out of any kind of danger. I also was there for the kids, as far as bonding with the kids, keeping them, as far as like way of life. You don't need just you need somebody else to be there, Sometimes they need somebody to talk to. I've done that quite a bit. And did you sometimes greet the kids when they got dropped off at school? In the morning, I directed traffic at the school. And did you have occasion to know any of Mr. Foreman's children? I don't know him by name, but I have let him out of the vehicle before, or not let him out, but greet him.
What the heck happened there?
What?
And but greet him.
It paused. Maybe there's like a damage. I think there's a damage to the video.
Oh.
That's why.
You're off duty. If you need to be called in for something, you drop everything.
He wasn't caught on audio.
Yes. Was Mr. Foreman home during the warrant execution? No, sir. Were any of his children present? Not initially. Did you see any of his children that night? In the vehicle with their mother. Just to clear that up, can you tell us what happened? Come in the driveway, and I was on the outer post of the house as far as like the perimeter area. And she pulled up the kids, and I went over and spoke with her, and I told her,
Afroman has a family?
Probably wouldn't be good for the kids to see this, you know what I mean? So they wouldn't be there to be upset or anything. Excuse me. Do you know whether the children live there, or do they live somewhere else? They live up the road. Up down the road from there. With their mother? Yes.
You made it hear something made the tape stop.
So then did they leave, or did the children never went into the house or anything? No, sir.
Oh, they get into the allegations. Damn.
This is sad because
take any
she's
money
supposed
that
to be
night?
a butch.
Sure.
She doesn't look that.
I mean, she has but she carries a lot of butch energy, and now she's just breaking down under the court.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's someone you would call a butch woman right there. Look at her arms, her big old fat face, and that's butch right there.
Well,
She's a butch woman. She is a butch woman.
She needs to have some strength. You know, she's a female police officer, but
And yet she's supposed to be breaking down.
I want to get to the part where they talk about the allegations.
A bitch.
I want to get to this part.
Is that the order that we put them in?
I have the order.
Okay. Which number is this?
This is number 19.
Thank you. So Lisa, we're showing you what we've marked as Exhibit 19. This looks like a post from September 17th, 2022. Was that shortly after the execution of the warrant?
Yes, sir.
Can we blow it up just a little bit? Okay, down. Near the bottom of that first paragraph, just go down a little bit more right there. Has anybody in Adams County verified her vagina? If you haven't, you should, or she might.
Oh, this is 10 times. Oh my gosh, 10 times more embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh, walk out something bigger than yours. If this lady is your friend, I wouldn't leave her alone in my house. Or I'll put it this way, if you leave and your video system is messed up, et cetera, et cetera. And then down below a little further, my name for this particular officer is Lieutenant Mona Lickamlow Lisa.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
it is. It really is.
It's pretty funny.
You see the look on her face when she looked in the direction of the camera or some shit. You know, like the just the she just looked like she had a lot of
shame,
a lot of anger. Yeah, it's just funny.
All I can hear is this song playing in my head while I see her talk about the case.
Yes, now that's all that I'm thinking about too.
When did you first see this posting, if you recall?
Shortly after the warrant.
That was over three and a half years ago. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next one.
Afroman.
Yeah. This guy. It's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is basically three years
see
ago.
Here,
I would never recommend that a client do this, but Lord, he's just
the point of this entire trial is to show just how ridiculous the entire circumstances are.
He's been sued for defamation. These actions, I presume, were leading up to the charge because they seem to be predated. He was accused in 2022. This is after his home was raided in 2022, and between 2022 and present, the charges in the trial took place. And he's
this I know, but what's wrong with him posting something like this?
Well, generally, trial again.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Please pay attention to the disclaimer that I said at the start of this video and in the description. Generally, at a trial, you can request like preservation of any kind of social media posts in association with the accusations.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, this is all evidence now, right? As you can see, it's being led at trial, and he's disparaging her. Like, some of the stuff's true, right? He's saying that she came in and disconnected his cameras. I'm assuming that was true, right? But then he says she loves stealing money and disconnecting cameras of law-abiding tax-paying citizens, basically implying that she uses her position for ill gains and is guilty of criminal acts, which is a serious accusation. It's not as bad as the PDF stuff that he accused the other officer of, but it's still like it's actionable, right?
It's still, yeah, it is. It's pushing
So
the
you
idea
think he's wrong
that she
here?
does the various actions.
So you think he's wrong in this, in doing this?
I wouldn't have done this if I was him. Like, he was still successful, but I wouldn't have done this. Like, if he was like, "Hey, can I post this?" I would have been like, "No, don't post this."
No, but do you think what I'm saying is, do you think he committed some sort of infraction or crime?
With respect to the PDF allegations against the one officer, yes. With respect to these other officers, as long as there's sufficient evidence of her being a lesbian, which I understand there is, and like I don't personally think that that's a crime. The last time I checked, being a lesbian wasn't a crime, right?
It was.
I don't think that's as serious, but the other stuff is
The only one that I see as
stuff is not
worrisome
okay.
is like, accusing the man of being a pedophile. That is dangerous.
I have a question, or I should say, I have a statement I want to make.
I told you he did something wrong.
Go ahead, Marvelous.
With everything that was taken into context, right? I think the only thing, in my opinion, that would have been kind of a iffy thing to push would have been, was it done in malice? When you take everything into context, yes, he was pretty much wrongfully accused and somewhat victimized because his losses and stuff, and they weren't compensated. And then even how they got the warrant was funky. I get how he would want to retaliate, and that's the thing. Like, this is clearly retaliation. Now, is that retaliation malicious? That's where I said that's to me, that was probably the hardest point to really nail him for the most part, because that could have honestly went either way. The pedo thing, that's kind of like, because of the whole thing with Drake and Kendrick Lamar. That one, like, so I can't really say that calling someone a pedo is really going to really get you in that kind of serious trouble. I mean, that's what Drake tried to get with, Homeboy, but that didn't go down. So, because it's art, it's expression. He kind of is protected in that sense of him just expressing his opinions, not facts. And that's where it comes in when people are saying, like, oh, do you really take him serious when he says it? No. You know what I'm saying? But it's still like that word in itself. No one really plays with that word. Not even like comedians barely play with it. Yes, they play with it with Michael Jackson and stuff like that. But again, it's just like it's so hard and nuanced with something when it comes to comedy or even expression of art. That's why, like, I was like, but that one was 50-50 as well. But you will get away with that because he's an artist. I look at it more like, okay, you are someone who's famous. You have some pull here. You know what I'm saying? And these people are just civilians. So that's the only thing I would say I would probably held up a little bit, because it's like, you're not some average guy, But then you also look at it like, well, they did kind of do him wrong. And if anything is alleged, well, put in between context, is that these cops are crooked. And the evidence presents itself when you look at the whole entire situation.
Right. So I think this case was led at trial. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it was. It's gonna be, the case is New York Times company against Sullivan, and that case basically established that the First Amendment rights pertaining to speech about like public officials, like police officers, is something that is protected under the First Amendment. And the malice inquiry that you made, Marvelous, was right on the point. Malice is basically when you know that you're telling a lie, but you just don't care. You just portray the accusation as true, and it's done in a malicious way. So Charles' question, like, just to answer, I hope that answers that. Toots would like to crown Afroman the supreme stoner.
I would like to say that in commentary to what Marvelous said, I would agree. It's one of those situations where there's a divide between creative use versus malicious intent. And I believe it's a situation where Afroman, it's obvious for Afroman's end, it's obvious that he's using it for creative use, but they're wanting to perceive it as malicious intent just because it's disrupting their lives, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's.
It says disconnect after stealing my money.
What's the number?
Sorry. Exhibit plaintiff's 20, Your Honor. Thank you. is suing me for humiliating her, giving her mental stress, ridicule, and the loss of her reputation. She doesn't like being called Lieutenant Mona Lickumlow, Lisa Full of Shit Phillips, but she loves stealing money and disconnecting cameras of law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. That's March 25th of 2023. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Go to the next one. Which number is this?
Number 21, and it's in video.
Lieutenant, look at low Lisa. Stop looking at pussy back there. That's the problem. You always look at pussy and you don't even know how many pussies you've licked. You don't even know how many video cameras you've disconnected.
What number? That was 21?
Yes.
Did you see that video when it was posted?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next one.
Lieutenant Mona Lickumlow Lisa. My ex-wife just like Lisa. She jealous of me.
I don't need to know. The record needs to know it. Work with me here. Go with it. 22.
22.
Lieutenant Mona Lickumlow Lisa. My ex-wife just like Lisa. She jealous of me and my love chill. That's why she disconnected my account.
Was that the same one over again, or was that a different one?
That is number 22.
That's
the
22.
Same, yes.
Same one. All right. Lieutenant Lickumlow Lisa ate my ex-wife just like pizza. Is that what you understood that to say?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to the next one.
This is 23.
Mona Lickumlow Lisa. My ex-wife just like Lisa. She jealous of me and my love chill. That's why she disconnected my camera.
That's the same thing on a different platform. Do you know what? Can you tell what platform that is?
Search YouTube.
No, I want pizza.
And the other one was Instagram. But let's don't play it. Just pull it up. See if we can.
Number 22.
It's number 22. Yeah.
YouTube.
Is that
22 again?
That's YouTube?
Yes.
I'm just trying to figure out which two platforms. Were they both the same platform?
Do you want me to go to the next, or both of those are both YouTube?
Oh, okay.
And then there's more exhibits of this.
Yes, I don't know why we had two of the same one, but I'm sorry. Let's go. Let's
Can we stop here? So for the record, are we saying that Exhibit 22 and Exhibit 23 are duplicates?
They are not duplicates. They are postings of the same video. One was posted on October 4th, 2022. One was posted on
That's you.
25.
Number 25. We have another video. We're
Want
ready
to
to
see
do
what
that?
the defense attorney asked?
25, a new law was passed, changed. As I said, in April of 2025, a new law was passed, an anti-SLAPP law, which would apply to this and therefore would have a completely different standard of evidence, and we would renew our objection to it being admitted or even posted at this point.
That law does not apply to this video or to this case, Judge.
Your Honor, that pertains to matters of public, for the press. It also covers artistic expression and stuff. Just to have no analysis is not an answer to the question. But I will renew it.
Really good objection.
Lap laws are fascinating. I don't know if you guys know a lot about that. Maintaining the ability for the public to express kind of like discontent about companies' actions.
Yeah.
Very fascinating area of litigation.
I'll be consistent and overrule it. We'll play it and you might be right.
No, Tootie. Don't be jealous of his beard.
He's beard maxing.
I'm right.
Yes.
Charles.
Number
You're a funny man.
26.
And this is not 26. I apologize.
I think this is the music video. Obviously, we've already watched that, so there's no need to rehash that. We're going to go to this one. Okay, this is the video with respect to the man who said that Afroman slept with his wife.
Oh, no.
Being painted in a false light due to Mr. Walters' saying he had sex with your wife?
Mr. Walters does have sex with his wife. Mr. Foreman doesn't.
Good catch on that.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it accurate, man.
You're claiming that is the defamation statement, is that he said he had sex with your wife.
Yes.
Okay. And that's painted you in a false light.
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
Wait, what?
He doesn't
He
know.
said that intentionally. He said that with all intention because he wants it to seem like it's believable. That's why he said, I don't know. The fact that it was questioned in that manner was the fact that, yo, you do know it was bullish, right? And it was like, well, I don't know. Is it bullish? And that's what he's trying to make it more like it's credible, to make it seem like he's trying to say it's a true statement that he's making about his wife. That's why he said he don't know.
All I have to say to that is just like, okay, so you're saying you're a cuck.
I mean, can you really know? Like, unless you're with your wife 24/7. I mean, it's a legal statement that you could technically make.
Technically, but it's just like you believe that your wife is cheating on you.
Some men, I don't know how they live their lives, All right.
And this is exactly why you need to keep these women in the house.
Oh my
We don't even know. It's just we're focusing on the cop.
Oh Lord! Oh my God!
I agree with the guy. You don't know who your wife is cheating on you with.
You heard this.
You're
You
making
heard
an
this
assumption
here
right there.
first, folks. According to DGen Man, he put 14 locks on the door. Only the husband has the key. The woman never sees the light of day and has a serious vitamin D deficiency. All right, don't make a joke right now. I know you want to make one. Don't do it.
You cut her to the damn stove and maybe let her out once in a while.
Okay, that wasn't that
Dear
bad.
Lord.
Okay, let's keep going.
Corruption of the Adam County cops, stealing money, stealing cake. When they make they traffic stops, first they screw you, then they sue you. Play game and dismiss your claims. The proof's on the
Lord.
screw. Mine eyes have seen informers get busted with felonies. Tell the cops I'm a kidnapper and I sell a lot of keys. Raid my house and they get this, 'cause the dungeon don't exist. My proofs on the internet. Yeah. Oh my God. My gate don't operate, and my door is on the floor. My camera's disconnected. Lisa Phillips is up.
Oh my God.
Him. Girl.
So wait, they broke his gate and the door.
What did you say?
It sounds like he's saying that they broke his gate and the door just to get
Did.
into his house.
They
Okay.
did. They $20,000 damages.
$20,000 in damages. No fucking one. Yeah, no. You stupid fucking cops.
Yeah, I'll show you the will you repair my door official video, actually. Let's watch that because I think you guys get the gist of that
I would
video.
love to watch that.
Hey, BG, I'm getting ready to go real quick, but I appreciate being on the show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. Come back anytime, Marvelous. Happy
For
to have
sure.
you.
Thank you.
Have a great Saturday. All right.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Toodles.
Toodles.
I love when people adopt Toodles. All right, let's keep going.
Toodles is a lovely exit. Right. Sounds like he did make the whole damn album off of this page, and I think he should have. There they are. Mhm. It's pretty great. With the cake, yeah. Mhm. Oh, weird. He was the food re-examination for defamation. Yeah, that's a lot of CDs. Like, why would anybody put drugs in CD cases? Oh, stop being agents. Okay? Let's have it. But now you're just rating his shit. Like, come on. Yeah. Charles and Burns have a little Rudeta. That's there you go. But I don't think you could put me in one. I wouldn't know. This. Yeah. I love it. Hey, look, Mona Lisa. There she is. Lisa. The sad fact is that everything that he does is true, so they can't say that this is defamation.
I love how it's all in a music video.
Oh my god!
Oh good. Guys, this is
That's
funny.
funny. That's fucking funny.
We all know what happened. All right. So that was the song. Now we're gonna go to the public. Well, he's not a public attorney, but the plaintiff attorney's position with respect to damages. Without further ado, unless anybody has the door. I think they kicked it once, and then the security camera caught it like being actually kicked in. All right.
Folks, I'm asking you to put $1.5 million in that verdict form. $1.5 million for Lisa Phillips from what she's been through for 3.5 years, maybe going through for who knows how long. For Brian Newland, I'm asking you to issue a verdict for $1 million for what he's been through with his family, the loss of his dream job here in Adams County. For Randy Walters, I'm asking you for a verdict of $1 million.
Wow.
For what he's been through with the allegations and vile videos about his wife. For the other 4 plaintiffs, Sean Grooms, Sean Cooley, Justin Cooley, and Mike Estep, I'm asking you for a total for all 4 of them of $400,000 divided among them however you see fit based on their testimony. You, of course, can award less. You can issue a verdict for more. That's what I'm asking you to say in your verdict form based on this testimony. For Lisa Phillips.
So slow. Let's see the defense attorney's closing statement here.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. This has been a long 3 days. It took a second for me to even count the number. It's been so long. A lot's happened. You've done your duty as jurors. You've paid attention to the evidence. I'm proud of that. What makes our country great is you have the right to have a jury trial. You have the right to people in the community to see this, weigh the evidence, and make a decision. And I'm proud that you guys are here and doing that. We started this time, I talked about this case was about freedom of speech. But let's talk about what it's also about. It's also about music.
Hagrid.
Not all music is tasteful. Not everybody likes all music. There's some songs I hate. I think we can find plenty of people that find songs they do not like. But Mr. Foreman, Joe is a rapper and comedian. It's what he's done his whole life is rap, make songs. We got to think of what rap is, because music does not exist in a vacuum. Music evolves over time. Take a look at jazz. It's evolved. At one time, it was distinct in a certain subculture, and it has now expanded. Rap is the same. Rap started out as a means for people to express social commentary, opinions through entertainment. Look at the song by NWA.
Hey, have
What they call Fucked Up Elise.
Good to see you, sir.
It's a social commentary on what was going on in their lives, their personal effect, the personal things happening to them, combined with entertainment, which unfortunately is exaggeration. Opinion, nothing of fact in that song. It's a commentary on society. And so when you look at rap, you see that over and over again. I had my secretary print me a couple songs, rap songs, while I was pouring a cup of coffee. And the first one is Carly B, WAP. I find it bad to say what WAP means,
I hate
but
that song.
it's a popular song. I think it's somewhat derogatory. But then again, I'm not the audience for that song. And I know that. I know nothing in that song. Nothing talking about is true. I know it's entertainment. I know it's social commentary. Miss Grooms testified even her students knew that at a young age. The same thing I knew when I was watching Johnny Carson, The Late Night Show, and SNL, Saturday Night Live, with my grandfather when I was a kid. That's all entertainment. They make fun of everybody for entertainment. And some of it is a social commentary. But it is not fact. And everybody knows that. Nobody looks at Lil Wayne's song Pussy Monster and says there's a monster in that song. Everybody knows it's exaggeration for entertainment. Is he commenting on something? Sure. But it's not fact. And I can keep going. Megan Thee Stallion with sex talk. I mean, it just goes on. They use derogatory language. It's designed to entertain. Drew Hastings, former mayor of Hillsborough, was a comedian. I got to go to one of his stand-ups. Some of it was funny, some of it wasn't. Some of his jokes, like those of Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor, some of them are not tasteful, but they're still jokes. They're not facts. And we know that. That's what a reasonable person listening to that would understand. And that's the point. This is not a vacuum. We don't live in a vacuum. Let's face it, we live in a vacuum, we'd all be dead because we couldn't breathe. So we live in a world full of everything, where we see things. We watch SNL. We know it's entertainment. We know it's going to pick on people. We understand that they're picking on public officials. They picked on Joe. They pick on Donald Trump all the time, Sleepy Joe. I mean, go down the list, even Teflon Ron was made fun of. So as you go back, nobody thinks that's fact. Nobody's going to take it that way. When they post their clips on YouTube, when they post their clips on Facebook, people don't look at it and go, that's the truth. No, they understand it's comedy. They understand they're going to talk about it going forward. And if you look at his posts, you see the little signs of that too. Iteration. Things that you see in a song. I mean, because after all, you know, a song's catchy, right? It has beat, song, you know, words rhyme. You know, she thinks the tractor's sexy and, you know, sticks with you. And we listen to Lemon Pound Cake. You heard the iteration. You heard how it came together as entertainment. So we don't exist in the vacuum, and a reasonable person doesn't exist in the vacuum. As the judge said, you are a reasonable people. You get to decide what's reasonable, which means you get to use your experience. You get to use your understanding of what those are, of your understanding of Joe, of your understanding of rap music, music in general. I'm not going to sit here and say that these 7 people were happy about what happened to them. I'm not going to say that. That'd be stupid.
It's a different bar for defamation than it is for just being a bit perturbed by something. I think the PDF, like I said, is the worst one, but the other one's whatever.
I am going to say is they are public officials. We see it on the news all the time. Public officials made fun of.
It's a science, Charles. Come on.
Let's go back to voir dire. During my voir dire, we talked about, with the one jury was going, we talked about that, yes.
For those of you unfamiliar, a voir dire is a trial within a trial, usually to decide on key issues, including motions for introduction of documents, omission of documents, whether or not a witness should be excused, and so on and so forth.
I ran for public office. She agreed I put myself out as a public official. She agreed that it was an opinion when someone called me a baby killer. Even our witnesses on the stand, I asked that question. They said a crooked defense attorney is not a vine. It's a matter of opinion. Crooked cops, dirty defense attorneys. Oh, wait, one witness did want to say I might not have taken a shower. But those are all opinions, exaggerations, not statements of fact. And we know that. And that's why public officials are held to a higher standard, because that standard is what is expected of them as subjecting themselves to public scrutiny. They all testified that people have criticized their work. I mean, after all, we look at the search. There is, even Mr. Newland admitted it wasn't perfect. I think we can see from how the money was handled, the investigation. I would have liked to have seen a more thorough job myself. I mean, we have the chain of custody, the money that just leaves it laying there. Mr. Newland didn't know that. We have an unsealed evidence bag. We have 10% of all evidence, money evidence in Adams County evidence locker miscounted. And then keep in mind that miscount on those is less than what is alleged in this here. We got people saying we had a miscount, yet they can't even bother to notify the court in an official document that they made a mistake. Just let it ride. As far as the public record knows, which they never corrected, Mr. Foreman never got back all his money. They want to talk about an investigation, but they can't even put in a single piece of paper to correct his mistake. I don't know if I call that lazy or what, but I think it goes to what you consider a fact. Because what is a fact? We can't always know what fact is. Fact is something you can disprove, right? But can we truly disprove it? Looking at all the evidence, there's questions. If there's questions, it's not a fact. Now, people will form opinions based on that. I formed an opinion. I imagine everybody here's formed an opinion. We know that they formed an opinion because they didn't like being called a thief. So that was their opinion. But people are allowed to have opinions. People are allowed to express them. What people are expressing when they call them thief is not a literal statement. It is not a fact. It is a social commentary on the fact that they didn't do things correctly. And they can't even articulate how they could fix it. That is a social commentary if I ever heard one. They don't like it? That's not their choice to like it or not. They're public officials. They're going to be held to higher standard. Their work's going to be criticized. I mean, that's just what happens when you're a public official. No reasonable person would expect a police officer not to be criticized.
Sorry about that.
They've all been called names.
You can file charges with the
Has it affected them personally?
County Sheriff Department.
Ms. Grooms testified it made no difference in her life. Her kids didn't take it seriously. And she's taught for damn near 30 years. But they seem to take it seriously. And I come back to Mr. Grooms. He's worried about going out on a call and being shot. Now, maybe I'm old-fashioned. But if I'm going out on a call, I'm worried about getting shot. I'm going to call my wife and tell her to be safe. Not sit here and go, I'm worried about me. That's not what you do. You take care of your family. Mr. Walters won't point that out. That just goes to show us he didn't take it seriously. Now, I'm not going to say they're not afraid. Anytime they go on a call, the highway patrol will tell you scariest things at traffic stop. You know nothing about the person. You're there by yourself, and things can change in an instant. Is that scary? Fuck yeah. I'd be scared.
Did you just say fucking court? Wow. Balls to the walls.
If you're truly scared, you take the steps for it. You start having your family do stuff. You start doing that. If you believe what you're saying, you take the steps towards it. You can take steps. No one else talked about how they took the steps either, did they? And why does that matter? Because a reasonable person's going to look at that. After all, let's go back to me not taking a shower. How would you know I didn't take a shower? Hair clumpy, probably matted, or got dirt all over me. That's how you would see. That's how you would prove if that's an opinion or fact. Now, even then you might say Dave just fell in the mud. But no reasonable person would take it in the vacuum. And I want you to think about everything in context. What rap is music, how it's entertainment, how the language.
What he's talking about, chat, too, by the way, I don't even know if anybody really watches this for my legal commentary. But the reasonable person analysis is something that is taken into account in many cases, civil or criminal. And it's effectively determining what a reasonable person, i.e. a person in similar circumstances, absent any sufficient technical or sophisticated knowledge regarding the circumstances, would have viewed or would have done in that case. And counsel is leading it very beautifully right now.
Works on it. How jokes are made. I want you to think back to that because that colors how you see it. I love picking on Joe. He's a good sport for it. Look at that suit.
Yeah.
Does this look like a man who thinks that
no problem
that everything he's saying is fact? I mean, he's like a comedian. He exaggerates for the sake of entertainment. That's who he is. I'm not going to say it's tasteful to everyone, but some people do find it entertaining. I asked an important question about them. I said, do you believe everything in the newspaper? No. Do you believe everything you read on the internet? No. We all know that to be true. A reasonable person knows that. People can post opinions, social commentary, and hurtful things all over the internet. And it is just to be expected. That's why we are supposed to use our own filter.
So in this day and age, so it is relevant to the time and era. Like, obviously, we're not going to utilize a reasonable person advantage from the 70s, right? A person from the 70s wouldn't appreciate internet commentary, for instance. So what he's referring to is, like, if you watch a music video like the ones that we saw throughout this stream, would you assume it to be true, for instance, that Lisa was a lesbian, right? If you watch that video, obviously the main portrayer of lesbian acts is an actress, right? It's not actually the, I think she's a lieutenant, the lieutenant herself. So there's certain qualifications that you need to take into account. Number one is an individual's familiarity with music videos and rap videos specifically. Number two would be an individual's familiarity with the internet. This is a jury trial. So typically in jury trials, the defense has the opportunity to select 6, the prosecution or a plaintiff has the opportunity to select another 6. In civil trials, it can be reduced to 9 depending on jurisdictional elements. But usually there is a jury selection process, and they vet people that, for instance, I would assume that they would have vetted people that don't watch rap music or like I've never watched a music video or used the internet, right? Because they wouldn't have any knowledge of the case. So just a bit of more legalese. I'll stop legal prattling. Keep going.
Use our common sense. Use our experiences in life. So while hurtful, it was not fact. It was music, entertainment.
Oh, Lord.
Stuff
Allegedly.
no reasonable person would understand, especially not a public official, because we see it on TV all the time. We see it on the internet. You see it on Facebook. Sometimes people want to turn off Facebook because there's so much political commentary and stuff. But that's expected. Do I expect everything I read is fact? I don't even think most of it's fact. I think it's everybody's opinion, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one that stinks. But that doesn't mean they can't happen. That doesn't mean they can't express them. That doesn't mean they can't make a song about it. Truth is a defense. That's why we talk about theft. That's why we showed all that. Because I wanted you to see how the money's handled. There's a lot of confusion around it. And for that reason.
Yo, where did everybody go?
Before I get to another point,
System had a family thing. Glacier had a family thing as well, and I think Marvelous as well as Sharon had a family thing as well, and then Marvelous I think had some kind of like other engagement.
You even let Sharon up here, to be honest.
Yeah, we've mended channel fences.
You what?
We've mended channel fences. We are a friend of the channel now. All right. Let's keep going.
I want to address something that's bouncing around my head. Bob says, what does this message send if you find for Mr. Foreman? I rephrase that question a little differently. What does this message send if we find that music and social commentary, while maybe not the most tasteful thing in the world, is silenced because a public official, while hurt by it, yes, unhappy by it, yes, pissed off, yes, emotional, yes. What opinion does that sound? I mean, if you can sue people, music artists, comedians, to shut them down, that's what we're looking at here. I'm sorry they feel the way they do. But there's a certain amount that you have to take as a public official. It's part of the duties as a job. As we talked about during voir dire, as I've talked about them being called a baby killer, there are certain things you take and you move on. It's part of the job. The plaintiffs, or I should say Bob, talks about how they wanted it to stop. Where was the certified cease and desist letter? Where was all this done? None of that was done until after they started the lawsuit, until after they brought it to court to make it stop. That's what they wanted to. They wanted to make it stop. Yet they asked for money. The commentary on them is nebulous at best. You can see that when you look at it.
It is, isn't it? I like it.
Gomer Pyle, Colonel King Kong Bundy. Some of these names are not as bad as others, yes, but they're all for artistic purpose. They're all for jokes. They're all for entertainment. This is not to paint them in a real light. No reasonable person would think that.
Oh, I'm sure he's paid very well. Attorneys in the U.S. make almost twice as much as they do here. In fact, I think I would probably make a lot more in the United States. But
it's kind of interesting because even Mr. Newman agreed that when he was called a pedophile.
That free healthcare, though. Oh, this is a topic for another stream.
By Mr. Foreman. Yes, that is a horrible thing to call a person. But even he said it was Mr. Foreman's opinion. So he didn't believe it was fact. If your own witness doesn't believe it's a fact, how can a reasonable person find it's a fact? Bob went to great lengths to say nothing will stop him. Shows us where we're at. We got to stop his expression. We got to stop entertainment. We got to stop exaggeration. That's what Bob's talking about. What chilling effect does that have on the world we live in? Think about it. You don't like what a commissioner does. You don't like what our prosecutor does. You don't like what any public official does, and you make a joke, and you're drugged in court. It may not have been a tasteful joke. It may have been a bad joke. It may have been the greatest joke ever.
So what is the judge is on his last leg here. What interests me about you guys, and I know we have similar kind of principles with respect to this, is that in both cases the standard of scrutiny for behavior of public officials is quite high. But in y'all's case, the qualified immunity particulars do seem to protect actors in the justice system from, any kind of allegations of wrongdoing if they have to act in a reasonable manner, right, against an accused. Like if they have to, I think about the Alex Peretti cases, right, along with the Renee Good matter that was decided earlier this year. And in those cases, qualified immunity is kind of separated from the scrutiny. With respect to the First Amendment, though, oh, Charles, you think it's a travesty of justice? I don't know. I think it's necessary. Okay, let me explain why. I think that these law officials, right, they have the need to act out their duties without facing prosecution. If they're worried about every Tom, Dick, and Harry suing them for what they view as unreasonable actions in the line of justice, I think that creates a kind of conundrum where they're going to be afraid to act within their powers. So I actually view qualified immunity as a good thing, but I also think it's a great thing that in cases like this, where you'll have the First Amendment, that there is a high bar to establish scrutiny against a public official for carrying out their duties. And like, I do think that malice is an appropriate kind of middle ground to strike in terms of what isn't or is appropriate in doing so. And I'm all for freedom of speech. I think it's a great thing to a limit, right? The First Amendment, I think, is pretty well rounded with respect to jurisprudence and how it's actually enumerated in the Constitution. So, yeah. Sorry, legal prowling again.
But what we're saying is if they don't like it, we're back here. What does that say to you, freedom of speech? What does that say to the world we live in? That's what the case is about. And Bob knows that. That's why he mentions it. That's why when you look at defamation and the jury instructions, you'll see that the first element of it is a statement. Portrayal of fact. Has to be portrayed as fact. No music video portrays as a fact. I don't watch Fuck Those Police and turn around and say, you know what, that's a fact. No. I say that's a song, it's entertainment, and move on. Sometimes I try to figure out what the words mean, what kind they're getting at, but I don't expect them to present a fact. Fourth element is the proximate cause. It's an interesting question there, because you'll get the definition of causation in proximate.
Proximate means a sufficient link to the actual issue. That's proximate cause.
And we never talked about that really during the trial. It's going to be something that I want to discuss. They talked about getting phone calls. None of those posts. Joe never said, call them and tell them this. Mr. Cooley testified that they mailed pound cakes to the office. Joe never said send them a lemon pound cake. These are things that other people have done. Joe never directed them to do it. He didn't cause it. He made a joke. He cannot control how people take it.
Well, a matter can always be appealed unless it's before the Supreme Court. Like the circuit court matters can always be appealed. So, but the other issue with judges is if they make enough wrong decisions, right? Judges are elected. So there's a matter of public opinion that is issue. And absolutely correlation is not causation. Thank you, Witchy. Good morning and welcome to the stream.
What they do, he's not that.
100%.
All he can do is make a joke, make a song. So that's something to consider. Was he the proximate cause or was it someone else? I want you to understand when they get to the question of malice, if you get that far, it has to be actual malice. Public officials, it's a higher standard. Why? Because we hold public officials to a high standard. Let's talk about the false light as their second cause of action. That says that a reasonable person would be justified in the eyes of the community, feeling seriously offended and aggrieved. I want you to go in on the eyes of the community. They want to say people's humiliating them, calling them names. The reality is a reasonable person in the eyes of the community is going to say, it's a song. It's a joke. I was flabbergasted to hear it myself, that they even thought it was a joke before they brought the lawsuit. Go to a Halloween party and bring a lemon pound cake. That, I almost have no words for that, honestly, because we're hurt, but it's a joke. Which one is it? So a reasonable person in the eyes of the community would understand it's a joke. Mr. Estep testified about the joke of the shirt. We got the pound cake joke. There's various jokes for this. This was not as negative. This is.
Yeah, you can do a cost appeal separately, for sure.
Not change their view in the eyes of the community, because your reputation, which is what they claim is hurt, your reputation is like a shirt. You eat a hot dog, you drop mustard on it, you get stains on your shirt. Nobody's reputation is clean. Everything you do affects your reputation. The way you perform your job affects your reputation. They all admitted to that on the stand because I asked that question. They all said it does. How they counted that money affects their reputation. People can form opinions based on how they did their job and criticize them on it. That's the right we have. You have to forgive me, I had to flip through these, son. We didn't have a lot of time to prepare as things change on the fly. I think as you go back and deliberate, take a look at all these issues, analyze it in the context of music, entertainment, opinion, social commentary. It's not fact. And if you look at it, like I said, it may not be tasteful.
To a point, so like constitutional violations are permitted, provided that there's certain things like exigent circumstances, plain view doctrine, other things like I guess like in the circumstance where the information is readily available, that's like plain view. Qualified immunity could also pertain to, like I said, exigent circumstances where there's no other way to get it. So there are you can infringe on an individual's constitutional rights, but you do have to be able to justify it under typically like there's jurisprudence that guides officers on this. And there's also outright legislation, right? So
may not be nice, but even SNL's not nice. South Park's not nice. These things are social commentaries, jokes, entertainment, and some of them are not nice. But you don't have to like everything. You don't have to like everything said about you, and you don't have the right to tell everybody that everything said about you should be sued for, especially if you're a public official. As such, I ask you to deliver a verdict in Joe's favor on all claims. I ask that because when you look at it, no reasonable person could see it as a fact. No reasonable person could see it.
Oh yeah, consent, and then search incident to arrest. Like if they need to like the motor vehicle issue, right? If the intermediate area is like within their reach, that's another thing. And then also like, for instance, if the property is abandoned, there's a couple of exceptions to that rule. Witchy.
As even false light. The community, if people called them, that's because the social commentary resonated with someone, resonated with what people experienced in the world. We've lived through a turbulent year, so we've all seen on the news what people are experiencing all over the country. Social commentary resonates because of that. That doesn't make him the proximate cause. That shows a deeper concern in our country that we should be addressing, not sitting here trying to decide if a music video is a fact or not. That's what's at issue here. And I'm confident as you go back in deliberations, you'll come to that conclusion too. And with that, I thank you again for your service, because it is not easy. And what you're about to do is not easy. It takes time and deliberation. It takes hard work. And I appreciate that you guys are willing to do it. And I reiterate again, that's what makes us a great country. Thank you very much.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Ron.
So typically there's like the right of rebuttal. That's what's going on right now. Yeah, apparently not. Apparently you can't type cake in here.
Nothing Mr. Osborne said about sexually explicit songs out in society refer to specific people in the community, like the songs that are at issue here. It's not the same thing. We all know that. These weren't opinions. Mr. Foreman didn't say, in my opinion, Brian Newland is a pedophile. In my opinion, they're all thieves. In my opinion,
fan, eh?
I fucked his wife doggy style. He said it like they were facts. And I think Judge Hine is going to instruct you, based on everything that's happened so far, that these were not opinions. They were stated as fact. And your job is to decide whether those facts were true or not. And we know they're not. The case isn't about lemon pound cake. It's about intentional lies designed to hurt people, and they hurt people. If somebody in the jury room says, well, what about his First Amendment rights? You know, and the law tells you, that doesn't allow lies that hurt people. If someone tells you it's just artistic expression, he ought to be free to say what he wants, the answer is he's not allowed to wrap up harmful lies into songs, so-called art, put them out there and get away with it. The packaging of the lie doesn't make it okay. The message was clear. And Mr. Foreman doesn't get to wrap himself in the American flag and say, you can't touch me. I can say what I want, no matter how untrue it is, no matter how much pain it causes people, no matter for how long, because I have freedom of speech. You can't do that. I'm confident you'll tell him you can't do that. Thank you.
All right. So let's watch the verdict.
With regard to decorum, I don't expect any responses from anybody. It's been an emotional case, been a well-tried case. The lawyers did what they should do. The parties did what they should do. I just want to remind everybody that how the verdict comes out isn't something of public comment. So if you have an emotional attachment to the verdict, don't express it. Wait till you get out of the building before you let your emotions out. So the verdict forms are properly executed, properly completed. Copies will be made available to the parties. In all circumstances, the jury finds in favor of the defendant. No plaintiff verdict prevailed. So the matter will be concluded with defense verdicts. Thank you, Mr. Klingler. Thank you, Mr. Osborne. Thank you to the court staff and the Sheriff's Department for security in the building. And we'll go ahead and stand in adjournment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wait, so was he found not guilty then?
Correct. He won the trial. And so in light of the America amazing suit and the patriotism of the defense attorney, I would like to play a short clip.
Oh, please, no more music. Oh, dear God.
All right.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna be like some music from like, I don't know, like rap music or some shit.
Yeah, it's not a criminal trial, so he's found not liable.
Yeah.
Afroman needs to make a lawyer song. No more music.
Oh God, no more.
No. That was a patriotism song, you bugger.
No, yeah, I agree with the song. I personally, I don't like music, particularly rap music or any form of other hip hop or any that's just not like I don't like music in general, especially hip hop.
All right, we're gonna do closings. I would like to thank DJ Man and all my panelists for joining us today, as well as the chatters who are still with us. Please, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and that really supports the show. I would really love that, and hope to see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Bye.